Good morning, Your Honor. This is the jail.
Hi, how are you today?
We're doing great.
Me too.
Is it okay if I could advise the court today that Lobata Steven could not come to court today due to him being in quarantine?
Yes, thank you. I'll roll him over, I guess, until tomorrow, and I'll try to see him then. Hopefully he's recovered whatever he has going on.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Do we have any victims this morning?
I didn't see everything.
Hello.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Arnulfo Michael Montijo.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct your initial appearance today.
Good morning.
You were indicted by the grand jury here in Pima County. Upon grand jury return, the judge set a bond of $50,000. Does the state have a recommendation in this case?
Morning, Judge Ryan again for the state. Yes, sir. We're asking for $50,000, which is that amount on the warrant. I would note the facts alleged against Mr. Montijo are that he strangled his girlfriend not once but twice after she tried to break up with him, and then he threatened to kill her. According to the pretrial services report, he still lives with that girlfriend who is the victim. I didn't note anything in the report about alternate housing. Lastly, I would point the court to his lengthy domestic violence history, including the fact that he's on probation for that. There were multiple cases of domestic violence despite his young age of 17. So for all those reasons, we're asking the court impose the amount on the warrant, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Absolutely. So generally, I defer to the Superior Court judges on warrants. I just do. You can do whatever you like. And they can always file a motion to change.
Your Honor, I'm ready. So I just spoke with Mr. Montijo. He does have housing with his father, but it sounds like the victim in this case doesn't live there. She just stays there occasionally with them. So she does have her own housing. He is a full-time student. He's only 17, so he's in high school. He doesn't have an active NBCA flag despite the state's allegations here. He's only scoring a 1 on the FTA scale, a 2 on the NCA scale. He was never previously arrested on this incident, Your Honor, and this is back in November. I don't have any new offenses that he committed. So for all those reasons and given his age, if you are inclined for a bond, we are asking for no more than a $10,000 bond.
Thank you. I'm going to take the following actions in this case. I'm going to set this matter for an arraignment on February the 24th at 1:30 p.m. in Superior Court. I'm going to affirm the bond amount issued by the Superior Court judge in the amount of $10,000 or $50,000. I'm sorry. I'm going to impose the following conditions: don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms, no contact with any victims, don't return to where the victim lives or works. And I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender in this matter. Sir, your next court date is going to be the 24th, which is a week from tomorrow. Good luck to you.
What the? Thanks. I'm not doing like that. I see right.
Morning. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Eric Lopez.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Eric Bota.
So you're here today on charges of interfering with judicial proceedings. Do you understand why you're here today? This is a
Kind of.
misdemeanor out of justice court. There was a prior protective order in your case and you're alleged to have violated that. What I'm going to do is set a bond at $500, give you a new court date of Tuesday at 1 p.m. I'm appointing Jill Glukin to be your lawyer. If you are released and post the bond, you must appear in court on Tuesday. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact with any victims, don't go to where the victim works or lives, no firearms, no weapons, no alcohol, no drugs. So your next court date will be Tuesday. If you post the bond, you will be released, but you must appear in court.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I do have a question because I did try to have deputies with me. They told me that the problem was that I showed up before them to the house, but there was no one at the house. I did try to do this the right way, how it was supposed to be. I just showed up before them, and that was the issue.
Okay, well, you'll have court on Tuesday. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mr. David. Go back out there. No, you're good. Thanks.
Sir, can I have your name, please?
Adrian Davis.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today charged with trespassing. I'm going to release you and give you a new court date of March the 18th in Justice Court. You must appear at that time and place. Conditions of release are don't return to the scene of the crime, don't have any contact with any victims, and standard release conditions, including no alcohol, no drugs. So on your Justice Court case, you are going to be released. You also have some cases out of Tucson City Court. Let's take a look at those. Like you have warrants out of Tucson for criminal damage and disorderly conduct. I'm going to release you on these charges and give you a new court date of March the 17th at 2 p.m. You must
March.
appear. Yes, you're going to get a copy of this paperwork. You
So
have-
the following days, they're following on the same, the days after each other?
No, one's on the 17th and one's on the 18th.
All right.
And one's in the morning and one's in the afternoon. So even if they were the same, you could make it to both. But you're going to be released. I'm sending the paperwork over now and then you'll get it. Make sure you make your court dates, all right?
All right. Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Driscoll.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Elizabeth Driscoll.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today because you have disorderly conduct, criminal damage, and assault charges out of Oro Valley. You're also on release on those charges as well. Do you understand why you're here today?
That I'm confused because I mailed Neville the compliance, the compliance letter that he then went and had notarized, and he told the Rebecca Sutton, the deputy prosecutor, told him it was fine for me to go there. She was fine with me going there and helping to take care of him because he's completely incapacitated. And so she told him that it was fine that for me to go there. And that is why I went there.
Okay, well, obviously you got arrested again. What I'm going to do is set your bond at $2,000 and give you a new court date of Wednesday. I'm going to appoint Mr. Glenn to be your lawyer. If you post the bond, you will be released and you'll appear in court on Wednesday. Mr. Glenn will be there in person. If not, we'll be able to speak with him through our video link. If you post the bond and the conditions of release are have no contact with this Mr. Neville and not return to that scene and remain law abiding. So your new court date is next Wednesday, which is the 19th.
Your Honor, what kind of bond is that? Because I would post my diamond necklace, a 1.2 carat diamond necklace, and it was stolen from me when I was here last time, 3 weeks.
Okay, well, it's a cash secured bond, so you can use a bonding agent if you wish.
Okay, because that necklace went missing in the custody of.
That's between you and the sheriff, ma'am. That's not something that I can deal with today.
Okay.
All right? All right, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's the 19th. See you on Wednesday.
No say more Valley. No say.
Broad Day, Richard. Dorothy. Dorothy.
Can I have your name, please?
Richard Duarte.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct an initial appearance on your case today. You're charged with disorderly conduct and threat. I'm going to release you. I'm going to give you a new court date of March the 18th at 10:30 a.m. in a justice court here in downtown Tucson. Conditions of release are don't drive without a valid license, no alcohol, no drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, no firearms. Don't return to the scene of the crime, have no contact with any victims. If you have property at that location, you can return with the police to get that property, but you must contact the police before you go there and make arrangement for a time and place to be there. Do you understand you're being released, but you must appear at future court hearings?
Yes.
Okay, good luck to you.
Will I receive a paper to?
Yes, you will.
stating that?
Everybody in the jail gets a piece of paper with that on it, okay?
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ra.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Aaron Lee Gerby.
You're here today on DUI charges. Also, you have warrants out of the city of Tucson. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the city of Tucson case, I'm going to release you
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
and give you a new court date of March 17th.
Yes, Your Honor.
You need to appear in court or another warrant will issue for your arrest.
I will be there, sir.
At some point, you won't be released anymore if you don't show up, so it's important.
Don't show up. I promise. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's talk about your justice court case now. You have a new DUI drugs case. I'm going to release you
Thank you, Your Honor.
and give you a new court date on that matter
Yes, Your Honor.
on March the 18th at 8:30 in the morning.
I'll be there, I promise.
And the one in justice court is at the justice court here in downtown Tucson. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. And the other one's down at the city court?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Standard release conditions will apply
Yes, Your Honor.
in this case, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms.
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Go back on there. Yes.
Get it.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Jose Gutierrez.
Okay, you're here today because you have 3 warrants out of justice court. Do you understand why you're here today? What I'm going to do is set a bond in each of these cases in the amount of $250. I'm reappointing Mr. Parvin to be your lawyer. I'm going to impose standard release conditions, including no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. I'm giving you a new court date of this Tuesday, 2 days from now at 1 p.m. with Judge Steele. Your total bond is going to be $750. If you post that, you will be released. If you do not, you will remain in custody until Tuesday, where your lawyer and yourself will appear before the judge.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
That's all.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Heffley?
Good morning. Can I have your name?
David Heffley.
I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct your initial appearance this morning. You're charged with disorderly conduct and threats. Do you understand why you're here today? And that's
Yes,
out of Marana.
Yes, I understand.
I'm going to release you on this matter with standard release conditions, including no contact with any victims, don't return to the scene of the crime, no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. I'm going to give you a new court date in Marana on March the 19th at 10 a.m. You must appear at that time or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
We're going to send the paperwork over. Just make sure you make your court date in Marana. Good luck to you.
This was, we're good to go back. Brandon?
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Brandon Hollinger.
Good morning. I'm Judge Hazel. The purpose of this hearing is for me to conduct an initial appearance on your case. You're charged with domestic violence, criminal damage today. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to release you and give you a new court date in Justice Court with Judge Foster on March the 18th at 10:30 in the morning. The Justice Court is here in downtown Tucson. You must appear at that time or a warrant will issue for your arrest. I'm going to impose the standard following release conditions: no alcohol, no drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms, and don't drive without a valid license. Additionally, I'm ordering that you not have any contact with any victims and don't return to the incident location. If you have property at that location, you can return with the police and get that property, but you must call the police before you go there, make arrangements to meet at a certain place at that time. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Whoa.
Who do you think's gonna be? Hi, can I have your name, please?
My name is Sean Falls.
Okay, sir, you're here today because you have charges of assault, unlawful imprisonment, criminal damage, disorderly conduct. Do you understand why you're here?
I do.
I'm going to release you and give you a new court date. That new court date's going to be March 18th at 1:30 p.m. in Tucson City Court with Judge Million. Standard release conditions will apply, including no contact with any victims. Don't return to the scene of the crime. If you have property at that location, you can return with the police. Additional conditions are no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. Do you understand those release conditions?
I understand them. I have one question. Where the event happened is my residence. So am I gonna have to move somewhere else at that point, or?
Yep. Until your next court date.
Okay, I understand.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Regina?
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Yes, it's Regina Kusarek.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of assault and disorderly conduct. Do you understand why you're here? These are out of Tucson City Court.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to release you, give you a new court date of March the 17th at 9:30 in the morning. Standard release conditions will apply, including committing no acts of domestic violence, no firearms, no weapons, no alcohol, no drugs. You must appear in Tucson City Court on March 17th at 9:30 in the morning. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to be released. You're going to get a copy of this paperwork. Make sure you make your court date, okay?
I live with my mom, so what am I supposed to do about my stuff?
You're allowed to go back and see your mom. She wants you back. She's a better person than I am. So yes, you can go back over there.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Angelina?
Angela?
Angela.
Hi, can I have your name?
Angela Nanziato?
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct an initial appearance on your case today. You're here today charged with criminal trespass and disorderly conduct. I'm going to release you. I'm going to give you a new court date of March the 18th at 1:30 p.m. in Tucson City Court with Judge Million. Standard release conditions will apply in your case, including no acts of domestic violence, no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. Additionally, I'm going to order that you don't return to the scene of the crime and not have any contact with any victims. If you have property at that location, you can return once with the police to get that property. But before you go there, you must contact the police and make arrangements to meet them. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm. Mhm.
Any questions so far? Don't pay any attention to Kim going. Keep everyone on time.
This one? Yes.
Yes, Lord.
Can I have your name, please?
Karen Serrato.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct your initial appearance today. You're here today charged with assault and disorderly conduct. I'm going to release you, give you a new court date of March the 18th at 9:30 a.m. in Tucson City Court. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms, and remain law-abiding. Additional conditions are not to return to the scene of the crime, not have any contact with any victims. If you have,
I live there.
okay, well, you're going to have to find somewhere else, or you could stay there. What would you prefer?
They were.
So you can find somewhere else to stay then?
That's my place of residence. My child is there.
Okay, well, they don't want you back. So either our choices this morning are for me to keep you in jail to your next court date, or you find another place to go.
I'll just find another place to go.
Okay, all
I
right.
have no reasons.
All right, good luck to you then.
Thank you.
Hi, can I have your name?
Richard Chacon Barajas. Good morning, Your Honor.
Did you say you're Mr. Chacon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct an initial appearance on your case today. You're charged today with possession of narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand why you're here?
Yes, Your Honor.
The state have a position in this case?
I'm fine with his release, Judge.
And the public defender?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I'm going to release you. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Standard release conditions will apply in your case, including supervision through pretrial services. Your new court date is going to be March the 10th at 1:30 in Justice Court for a preliminary hearing. Do you understand that you must appear in court on March the 10th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You are being released. Make sure that you make your next court date, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck.
Judge, I have that he's steps eligible.
Well, nobody mentioned it, so that's why I didn't say that on my paperwork, so I didn't.
It's the
The drug treatment court.
So can you send it back to him, or is it in?
more that. What's the difference?
Okay. So what's the state's position on steps in his case?
Judge, I checked it on my written recommendation. It looks like he's eligible.
All right. So is he waiving time for timely preliminary hearing then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, you're eligible for a diversion program according to the attorneys. So your preliminary hearing date is going to be pushed out to April the 2nd, but your review hearing for steps will be February the 25th at 9 o'clock. That's where you'll go and discuss with them the diversion program and what that involves, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
Good luck to you.
Thank
Ooh. So now I'm getting some error messages, Kim. I don't know if it saved the changes or not. Any suggestion how to get out of him?
Hello.
You want to talk this way? Okay. You're here.
Can I have your name, please?
Hello, Irish Rams.
Hey, hi, I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct an initial appearance on your case. You're here today charged with burglary. Does the state have a position in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm asking for a $25,000 bond plus pretrial services if that bond is posted, primarily based on the nature of the offense and the fact that he is less than 2 months off of parole. I'd note that the new criminal activity scale is the highest it can be at a 6, and the failure to appear scale is almost there at a 5. So for those reasons, we're asking for a bond.
Okay, thank
Just a
you.
moment, Your Honor. We'd actually be asking that you consider pretrial services in this matter. It is considered a nonviolent offense. He does have housing at Rescue Gospel Mission, and he's been working with their program to work for a roofing company. He's been verified to live in Tucson for at least 9 years. So given all those factors, Your Honor, we'd ask you give him a shot on pretrial services to keep his job and his housing. If you are inclined for bond, then I don't believe anything more than a $7,500 bond is necessary in this case.
All right, thank you. I'm going to do the following things. I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on February the 25th. I'm going to set a cash secured bond in the amount of $5,000 if posted relief through pretrial services. Standard release conditions will apply, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. Appoint the public defender to represent the defendant. No contact with any victims, and don't return to the incident location. So, sir, your next court date is February the 25th at 1:30 in Justice Court for a preliminary hearing. And I have appointed a public defender to represent you. The one thing I do is somewhat I've had him tell me, I don't want to, no, it's in the paper. I said, no, state it. So, but you do whatever works for the best for you. That does help the defendant realize that there's somebody on the other side advocating. It's not just randomly.
Hello.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Leticia Lutz.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of misconduct with weapons of prohibited possessor. Purpose of this hearing is for me to set release conditions in your case. Does the state have a position in this matter?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking for a $10,000 bond plus pretrial services if that gets posted. I would note that's primarily just based on the nature of the offense and the fact that she has a prior conviction. She's a 3 on the NCA scale and a 3 on the FTA scale. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. I do not believe a bond is necessary in this case. It's considered a nonviolent offense. She claims to have housing. She's self-employed and she's been in Tucson for at least 7 years. She does have priors, but they're all drug related, and the last one is from 2010. She doesn't have an active NVCA flag. She's 3 on both the scales, which is considered right in the midway point. So I don't believe a bond is necessary. There's no indication she won't show up for court. And nonviolent offense does not make her a danger to the community. So we'd be asking you release her to free trial.
Thank you. I'm going to take the following actions in this. I'm going to set this for a preliminary hearing on February the 26th at 1:30 p.m. in Justice Court. I'm going to set the bond at $1,000, cash security posted through pretrial service supervision then. Standard release conditions will apply with further conditions of no firearms, and if the defendant is released and has firearms, should be surrendered to law enforcement. I'm also going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. Ma'am, your next court date is February the 26th at 1:30 p.m. in Justice Court. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Urquijo, Omar.
It should be the Spanish one. Do we have the interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. I believe this is the Spanish case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, can I have your name?
Señor, ¿me puede decir su nombre, por favor?
Omar Urquijo, Salcido.
Omar Urquijo Salcido.
Good morning, sir. I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here to conduct your initial appearance.
Muy buenos días, señor. Yo soy el juez Hazel y yo voy a realizar su comparecencia inicial.
Buenos días, señorita.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You're here today because you have warrants for or a charge of possession of dangerous drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia, and a prohibited possessor of a weapon. Do you understand why you're here today?
Bueno, señor, el día de hoy usted está compareciendo porque tiene órdenes de arresto. Usted tiene una acusación por posesión de droga peligrosa, posesión de accesorios de droga y también porque usted posesión de un arma y usted es una persona que no tiene el permiso para la aportación de armas. ¿Usted entiende por qué está aquí?
¿Puedo defenderme? ¿Puedo hablar?
Can I say something to defend myself?
This isn't the place for that.
No, hoy no es el momento para hacer eso.
Que no tenía yo, no tenía nada, yo, uno, entonces sí, uso personal que yo tenía, pero no está.
No, I have never owned a weapon. I did not have a weapon. I mean, drugs, yes, it was for personal use, but no, not about the weapon.
Okay, thank you. So,
Gracias, está bien.
the state have a recommendation?
Y le pregunta
Ya, ya.
después al fiscal que si tiene alguna recomendación y dice que sí el fiscal. Va a hablar el fiscal.
I'm sorry, Madam Interpreter. Judge, I'm asking for a $1,000 bond for time credit. I would just note he has an ICE hold.
Dice el fiscal, su señoría, yo solicito que el señor se le fije una fianza de $1,000 y también se le dé crédito por el tiempo que ha estado detenido. Y quiero mencionar que tiene una orden de detención de la Agencia de Migración de ICE.
Attorney for the defendant?
¿El abogado defensor desea decir algo?
Given the ICE hold, we are also comfortable with a $1,000 bond for time credit.
All right, thank you. So,
Y dice el abogado defensor que sí, que debido a que existe esta orden de detención a la Agencia de Migración, estamos de acuerdo con que se le fije la fianza de $1,000 por el tiempo que ha estado detenido.
sir, I'm going to take the following actions.
Señor, yo voy a tomar las siguientes acciones, dice el juez.
I'm going to set your matter for a preliminary hearing on February the 26th at 1:30.
Voy a fijar una audiencia preliminar para usted el día 26 de febrero a la 1:30 de la tarde.
I'm going to set your bond at $1,000.
Voy a fijarle fianza de $1,000.
Standard conditions of release will apply.
Y las condiciones de liberación en general normales aplican a usted,
including not to possess any firearms,
que incluye que usted no debe de poseer ningún tipo de arma de fuego.
if you are released, you must surrender your firearms to law enforcement.
Si usted sale libre, debe de entregar cualquier arma de fuego que tenga a los agentes del orden público.
Lastly, I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Y finalmente voy a asignar al defensor público para que lo represente en este caso.
Good luck to you, sir.
Muy buena suerte para usted, señor.
Señor, buenos días.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. And if the jail could tell me if there's any other Spanish speakers so we could let the interpreter go.
No, Your Honor, that was the only one.
All right. Thank you, Madam Interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you.
No.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Pamela Atkinson.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today, and my job is to do initial appearance. You're here charged with possession of dangerous drugs. Do you understand why you're here?
Yes.
All right, thank you. State have a recommendation in this matter.
Judge, I'm fine with her release to pretrial services. I think she's steps eligible.
Okay. Attorney for the defendant.
We'd agree, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you're eligible for a diversion program that will allow your case to be dismissed if you successfully complete it. That's called the STEPS program. What I'm going to do, and counsel for the defendant, you're waiving time for a timely preliminary hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to set your matter for a STEPS or diversion hearing on February the 25th at 9 a.m. and then set your matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 2nd. I am releasing you from custody with standard conditions. Additional conditions are no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms, and I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. So you are going to be released on this case. Okay, ma'am?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
Philippines?
No.
Oh,
Sir, can I have your name, please?
yes, Alberto de la Cruz.
Okay, you're here today because of two things. You have new charges out of Justice Court. Those new charges are misconduct with weapons. You also have a warrant out of Justice Court as well. So let's talk about your new charges first. Does the state have a recommendation on the new felony charges?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking for a $20,000 bond plus pretrial services if that bond is posted. I would note Mr. De La Cruz appears to have multiple prior felony convictions, most recently for aggravated assault, yet he still possesses a weapon when he's not allowed to. So based on that, we're asking for a $20,000 bond.
The defendant, attorney for the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We don't believe a bond is necessary in this case. He claims to have housing and employment. This is considered a nonviolent offense. He does have priors, but the last one is from 2020 where he successfully completed probation without violations. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag. He's only scoring a 3 on the FTA scale. It looks like in that old case where he was on probation, he was held on a $7,500 bond for several months and was unable to pay that. So if you are inclined for a bond, then we'd be asking for no more than $7,500 as that is where his financial situation is.
All right, thank you. So first on the new felony charges, I'm going to set this matter for a preliminary hearing on February the 26th at 1:30 p.m. in Justice Court. I'm going to set a $5,000 cash secured bond if bond is posted and released through pretrial. Standard release conditions will apply, including additional conditions: no firearms, no weapons, no alcohol. If the defendant possesses weapons and he is released, he must surrender those to law enforcement. Also, I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent the defendant. Sir, your next court date is the 26th at 1:30 on the new felony matter. Let's go back to your Justice Court matter. On your Justice Court matter, I'm going to appoint Mr. Grinkwitz to be your lawyer. I'm going to set a $250 bond and give you a new court date of Tuesday, 2 days from now at 1 p.m. with those standard conditions that I went over earlier. So your total bond is $5,250, but you do have court on Tuesday on the next case, the next court work day. Good luck to you, sir.
Say something, please.
You might want to talk to your lawyer before you say anything.
Okay, you can tell the judge. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. I have 3 kids. I have a 4, a 3, and a 2-year-old, and I have one on the way. And I mean, my girlfriend really needs my help out there. I don't know if I'll have the $5,000 to bond out. And I have a real good job with the city. And that's if I can just get released to pretrial services, that would be possible.
No, I've already made my decision. Good luck. Good luck to you, okay?
Flores. No. Peter. It's Peter. Julio.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Julio Alfonso is good.
Okay, hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today for 2 things. You have a warrant out of the city of Tucson, and well as new charges of unlawful flight from law enforcement. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes.
Does the state have a position in this matter?
Yes, Judge. The state's asking for a $30,000 bond plus pretrial services supervision if that bond is posted. Judge, I don't always ask for a bond in charges like this, but the facts here warrant a significantly high bond based on what Mr. Esquer put the community in and the position he put the community in and the safety he jeopardized in this community. He fled from police officers when they tried to stop him at speeds exceeding 120 miles an hour on the interstate, weaving in and out of traffic and passing cars on the shoulders in order to get away from police, which he ultimately did. They had to terminate the pursuit to keep people safe. This is just such a great risk to the community. He's lucky he didn't hurt anybody here. I would note he has a prior felony conviction that then got designated a misdemeanor that was for aggravated robbery. He's got a history of failing to appear for court with a failure to appear on a resisting arrest case. I don't have a lot of confidence that he'll come back to court. He's a 5 on the new criminal activity scale, a 6 on the FTA scale. So for all those reasons, but particularly the speeds of 120 miles an hour or more, we're asking for a $30,000 bond.
Thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Your Honor, just one moment. Okay, Your Honor. We'd be asking for you give him a shot on pretrial, or at the very least a much lower bond than the $30,000. Despite the state's statements, this is still considered a nonviolent offense. He also wasn't charged with endangerment. He was charged with unlawful flight. He does have his own housing, which is verified. He is a crew lead at his employment job, and he has support with his mother. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag, and as the state noted, he does have a prior, but it was designated a misdemeanor because he did so well on probation. He had no violations. Back then, he was also held on a $5,000 bond that he wasn't able to pay. So if you are inclined for a bond, then no more than $5,000.
All right, thank you. So let's deal with the new felony matter first. I'm going to set the bond at $10,000, set this matter for a preliminary hearing on the 26th at 1:30. That'll be a cash secured bond. If posted, it'll be released through pretrial. Standard release conditions will apply. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent the defendant. Let's go on to his warrants from Tucson City Court. Those involve obstructing a public highway, failure to abide police. On the Tucson City case, I am going to set the bond at $500 and set this matter for a video review and appoint the public defender. That new court date for the video review will be the 25th. If he's released, he must appear on March 25th at 9 a.m. in Tucson City Court with standard release conditions. Good luck to you, sir.
Flores.
Hello.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Oscar Manuel Flores.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of DUI, hit and run, and criminal damage. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes, sir.
State have a recommendation on release in this case.
Judge, I'm okay with Mr. Flores' release to pretrial services under certain conditions, including that he not consume any alcohol or illegal substances, that the court impose substance abuse counseling and treatment as directed by pretrial, and that he not drive without a valid license. I am asking that the court, if it's inclined to release him, put him under the supervision of pretrial. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Judge, we have no objection to release him under pretrial or those conditions.
Okay, sir, I'm going to order that you be released. I'm going to set your matter for a preliminary hearing on March the 10th. You must appear on March the 10th on these charges or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Standard release conditions will apply in this case, with the additional condition that you are being released through pretrial and you must follow all their recommendations. Also, you don't have any contact with any alleged victims and don't return to the incident location. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. So, sir, you're being released and your new court date is March the 10th. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Your Honor. Thanks, Your Honor.
You have a good day.
¿Tú quieres? ¿Tú quieres?
Hello.
Sir, can I have your name, please?
Diego Gutierrez.
Yeah, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on a warrant for your arrest out of Superior Court. You failed to appear in Superior Court, and Judge Lansom issued a warrant in the amount of $10,000. That was issued on December the 31st. Does the state have a recommendation in this matter?
Judge, the warrant amount is $10,000. In reviewing the pretrial services report, I'd be okay with the court releasing him to pretrial services and giving him a chance to appear. Looks like it was a summons that was mailed to him. He claims he never got it.
State's or defense position?
Your Honor, we'd agree with that. It looks like the summons that they mailed it to is not the address he reported that he resides at with pretrial. So I think somewhere in the move it got lost, but now he's aware of it and there's no indication he won't appear.
Yeah, I'm going to release you, sir, through the supervision of pretrial services.
Okay.
Going to give you a new court date for an arraignment, which is the 24th, which is next Friday. Or no, I'm sorry, it's a week from tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. in Superior Court. You're to have no contact with any victims, not return to the incident location, possess no firearms, alcohol, or drugs, and follow the recommendation of pretrial services. I'm also appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in this matter. So you are being released, but you have a court 1 week from tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you.
Hernandez.
Hello.
Sir, can I have your name, please?
Roman Hernandez.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs. The purpose of this hearing is to conduct a initial appearance and set release conditions on your case. Does the state have a recommendation in this matter?
I'm okay with his release to pretrial, Judge. He's steps eligible to be screened.
Attorney for the defendant?
We agree, Your Honor.
The state defense waive time then?
Yes.
All right, sir, I'm going to allow you to attempt to enroll in the diversion program, which would result in the dismissal of your charges if successful. I'm going to set your matter for a diversion hearing, steps hearing on February the 25th at 9 a.m. I'm setting your matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 2nd at 1:30 p.m. Standard release conditions will apply in your case, including no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. Also, I'm appointing the Office of the Legal Defender to represent you in this matter. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello.
Can I have your name, please?
Kyle Mason.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on 3 different felony complaints for felony shoplifting. Possession of narcotic drugs on 1, shoplifting, and another felony shoplifting. You're also here on a warrant out of the city of Tucson. The purpose of this hearing is for me to set release conditions on your case. Does the state have a recommendation in this matter?
Yes, Judge, as to all 3 felony interims, we're requesting a $20,000 bond plus pretrial services if posted. I listed on my written recommendations $20,000 on each. I think that would be appropriate, but the court may choose to issue a combined amount of $20,000. Judge, I would just note, Mr. Mason, I probably wouldn't typically ask for a bond on charges like this, but the interim complaint, specifically the detective, requests a high bond. He notes that Mr. Mason is a repeat shoplift offender with 12 convictions in the past 2 years, dating back to only April of 2023. He's on probation for 2 separate city court cases, and he shoplifted thousands of dollars worth of merchandise in the past 2 years. In the last 2 weeks alone, he's shoplifted over $1,000 from Target over at 6500 East Grant. Judge, we don't know how else to protect these victim businesses other than having him held. So we're asking for a $20,000 bond. I would ask that the court issue a do not return order for any Target and specifically 6500 East Grant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Your Honor, while I understand the state's concerns, the court still must impose a bond that is the least onerous conditions for the individual defendant. He is verified to be homeless and unemployed, and he doesn't have an active NBCA flag. And these are considered nonviolent offenses. So given those factors, we'd be asking for no more than a $8,000 bond on all cases consecutive or concurrent.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take the following actions in this matter. On all cases, I'm going to set a preliminary hearing on February the 26th at 1:30 p.m. in Superior Court. On each case, there will be a $5,000 bond. The total bond will be $15,000. Standard conditions will apply in all cases, including don't return to the scene of the crime, no alcohol, no firearms, no weapons. Additionally, I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender in all of these matters. If bond is posted, I'll direct that he be supervised by pretrial services. So let's go on to your misdemeanor charge. You have warrants out of the City of Tucson. On the City of Tucson cases, I am going to release you and set your matter for a video review. That video review is going to be on, let me give you the date. It's going to be on the 25th at 9 a.m. I am appointing the Office of the Tucson Public Defender to represent you in this matter. So you will have attorneys in all matters, and your total bond is $15,000. Good luck to you, sir. Is that what I wrote? Yeah, I put it up there. Yeah, my eyesight's not good enough to see what that box up in the far right is, but I think that's where I put it. Did I do it right? Yeah, you did.
So,
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Michael Molina.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of misconduct with weapons. The purpose of this hearing is for me to set release conditions on your case. State have a position?
Judge, I'm okay with his release to pretrial. I went back and forth on this given the nature of the allegations, but he doesn't have any priors. So I'm okay as long as the court imposes a condition of no weapons.
Attorney for the defendant?
Your Honor, we would not object to his release or that condition.
Yeah, I'm going to release you, sir, and set your matter for a preliminary hearing on March the 10th. I'm going to release you through pretrial services. Standard conditions are going to apply, including the condition of no weapons. I'm ordering the further condition that if you have any weapons, you must surrender those to law enforcement. I'm further appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. So you are being released. Your new court date is March the 10th, sir.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you. Every attorney's a little different.
Bottom.
Because the people like it.
Well, you're gonna do that. Thank you.
How you doing?
How are you?
Hi, can I have your name, please?
John Navarro.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on charges of possession of narcotic drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes.
Does the state have a position on release in this matter?
I'm okay with his release to pretrial, Judge. He appears to be steps eligible for screening.
Attorney for the defendant?
Honor, we're comfortable with this release. We also agree that he's steps eligible and we would waive any time on the preliminary hearing.
All right, sir. The prosecutor and your attorney are indicating that you're eligible for a diversion program that would allow your case to be dismissed if you complete it.
Okay.
I'm setting that hearing on February the 25th at 9 a.m. I'm ordering that you be released through the supervision of pretrial.
Okay.
I'm setting the matter for a preliminary hearing on April the 2nd at 1:30 p.m.
Okay.
So you are being released, but your next court date is the 25th of February. You must appear or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, good luck to you.
Judge, what office is appointed?
The public defender.
Great, thank you.
Okay. You're good.
Hello.
You're good to go back.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Richard Shane Peck.
I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today. You're charged with misconduct with weapons, weapons possession during narcotic offense, possession of narcotic drugs, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you understand why you're here today?
Yes.
Does the state have a position on release in this matter?
Yes, Judge, I'm asking for a $15,000 bond plus pretrial services if that's posted. I would note I'm concerned about the nature of the offense where Mr. Peck has a weapon, a defaced weapon. He's got prior felony convictions, including an aggravated domestic violence case where he went to prison as recently as 2020. He's a 5 on the new criminal activity scale, a 4 on the failure to appear scale. For all those reasons, we believe a bond's appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Attorney for the defendant?
Your Honor, it looks like he has verified housing and support with his mother, but he is unemployed. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag. He's a 2 or level 2 supervision. It is considered a nonviolent offense. So given all those factors, we'd be asking for no more than a $5,000 bond.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take the following actions in this matter. I'm going to set the matter for a preliminary hearing on February the 26th at 1:30 p.m. in Justice Court. I'm going to set a cash secured bond in the amount of $7,500. If he posted, it'll be released through pretrial. The standard release conditions will apply with additional conditions of no firearms. And if he does post bond and is released, he must surrender any firearms to the law enforcement. So your next court date again is February the 26th, and I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Good luck to you.
Daniel?
Hello.
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Miguel Pena.
Hi, I'm Judge Hazel. You're here today on a charge of felony DUI. Purpose of this hearing is for me to set release conditions in this matter. State have a position?
Judge, I'm asking that he be held without bond. He's on release for another aggravated DUI.
Attorney for the defendant?
Your Honor, we'd be asking for a court date on the no bond as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to set this matter for a no bond hearing on February the 21st at 1:30 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. I'm sorry.
Explain it in a second.
I'm appointing, that's next Friday. I'm appointing the public defender in this matter. I'll set the matter for a preliminary hearing after that on the 26th. Sir, you're going to be held without bond because the allegation is this offense was committed while you were on release. You're going to have a hearing this week on that allegation. Good luck to you, sir. That guy likes to drink it.
Rodriguez?
Hello.
How's it going?
Hi, can I have your name, please?
Angel Rodriguez.
Hey, good morning. I'm Judge Hazel. I'm here today to conduct an initial appearance in your case. Today, you're charged with burglary in the 3rd degree and possession of drug paraphernalia. Does the state have a position on release in this matter?
I'm fine with his release to pretrial services, Judge. Thank you.
Attorney for the defendant?
Your Honor, we would not object to that.
Okay, sir, I'm going to release you through the supervision of pretrial services. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm going to impose standard conditions with the additional conditions of no contact with any victims, don't return to the scene of the crime, no firearms, no alcohol, no drugs. You are being released. You must appear in court on March the 10th. Failure to appear could result in a warrant for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're being released. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Make sure you call pre-trial, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Does they have anything further today?
No, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. Anything further?
All right. Folks, have a seat. I'm hoping that the officer holds it for him, so we'll be able to see it because he has the interpreter. Got it. Hopefully. Perfect. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do my initial advisement here, and then we'll go ahead and call in our interpreter matters here.
Do you want the Spanish interpreter to interpret at the same time?
Or yeah, or right after. I'll just do the initial DNA and fingerprint advisement. We do have an ASL matter. I'll go ahead and call that one first, and then we'll call yours, Corb, okay? All right, this is the 11 a.m. initial appearance calendar for February 16, 2025.
Este es el calendario de la comparecencia inicial de las 11 de la mañana del día de hoy, 16 de febrero del 2025.
The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar.
Las órdenes emitidas con respecto a la toma de huellas dactilares y muestra de ADN el día 1 del mes aplican a todos los casos.
We are going to start today with Leroy McGonigal. Mr. McGonigal, are you okay doing your appearance from where you're at with the iPad?
I can see fine.
Okay.
Here,
All right, does that work?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right, sir, if you could state your name and your date of birth.
I'm Leroy McMonigal, and June 27th, 76 is my birthday.
Thank you, sir. We have two separate cases here for you today that we need to review. Both of these are probation matters. Specifically, a warrant was issued in each of your probation cases for a petition to revoke. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed in both matters to represent you, and you currently have a revocation arraignment hearing set on February 24 at 8:30 a.m. That will be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. Our release conditions in each of those warrants has been affirmed. The first one is a $1,500 secured appearance bond. But your second one is a non-bondable warrant. In other words, you're not eligible for release in that particular case. That's pursuant to Rule 7.2 of the Arizona Rules of Criminal Procedure.
Your Honor, is the second one you said, is that a new case?
It is not a new case. It is one of your probation matters. It is the CR 2022 case. So one of your probation cases is bondable, but the other one is non-bondable. In other words, you have to stay in custody for that one.
I just started treatment and they released me, so that was about a week and a half ago. So I'm imagining that that's why I violated probation, because I was in treatment.
So you have multiple different violations listed here. They include not reporting. They include not submitting to drug testing and abiding by some of your special orders that do deal with treatment in your case. I would recommend speaking with your attorney who's been appointed to represent you regarding the specific allegations in your matter. We will be giving you paperwork that will contain all of this information as well, so you'll have all of your court information. Do you have any other questions, though, regarding what I've gone over?
So you're saying I violated a lot of probation terms? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, they've listed 3 separate terms that you violated, potentially on multiple dates. But again, that's something I would speak with your attorney about. They'll have additional information.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And where's my paperwork?
We'll get it to you.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Thank you so much. It looks like we are done with that one. Thank you for your assistance, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and call in Edgar Tovar Roa. Sir, if you could step to the podium.
Edgar Tobar Roa, pase al podium.
Sir, if you could state your full name and date of birth.
Nombre completo y fecha. Diga su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
Edgar Tobarroa, 22 de agosto de 1995.
Edgar Tobar Roa, August 22nd, 1995, Maria Corp, Court Interpreter's Office.
All right, thank you. Sir, you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. There are 2 counts that have been submitted.
Señor, usted está aquí por un caso nuevo en el Tribunal Superior. Tiene dos puntos acusatorios.
1 count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, which is a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of discharging a firearm, which is a Class 6 felony.
Un punto acusatorio de posesión de arma de fuego, siendo una persona que tiene prohibida la posesión. Un punto acusatorio de disparar un arma, que es un delito categoría 6.
The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this case, and you currently have 2 court dates set at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix.
He asignado un defensor público para que lo represente y tiene 2 audiencias futuras fijadas en el Tribunal Superior en el centro de Phoenix.
That'll be a status conference February 21 with a preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30 a.m.
Una audiencia de repaso el 21 de febrero a las 8:30 de la mañana y una audiencia preliminar el 25 de febrero a las 8:30 de la mañana.
In this matter, you do have a bond that is going to be a $10,000 secured appearance bond.
En este caso, le estoy fijando una fianza de $10,000 para asegurar su comparecencia.
You're also ordered not to have contact with any complainant or witness, and you are not to possess any weapons if you are released from custody.
Se le está ordenando que no tenga comunicación con ningún quejoso o testigo, y si queda en libertad, se le ordena que no tenga posesión de armas.
Do you have any questions regarding the information that I just went over?
¿Alguna pregunta de la información que le acabo de indicar?
Todo bien.
Everything's fine.
That's great.
All right, if you want to step over to your left, we'll get paperwork to you as well. Thank you, sir.
Pase a la izquierda, gracias.
Ms. Court, could you just double check to see if there's anyone else here who does need the assistance of an interpreter? That's the only one I had marked.
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien más que necesite intérprete en español? Si es así, levanten la mano. Any hands?
Nope. No hands. All right. Thank you so much for your help today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we have Shane Kelly. Jeremy Thomas will be up after that. All right,
Hello.
sir, your full
Hi.
name and date of birth,
6/14/79.
and your full name.
Shane Armstrong Kelly.
Thank you, sir. So you've got 3 separate cases here today.
3.
I'm going to start, 3. I'm going to start with the new matter that just came in. So this will be for a new case out of Superior Court. It's for 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, which is a Class 4 felony. So in that case, the public defender has been appointed. You have a status conference set February 21 with an evidentiary hearing February 24 at 1:30. And then your preliminary hearing is February 25th at 8:30. Those are all going to be at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix.
Okay, there was another party involved in that possession that they were taking that charge. I shouldn't have that charge.
You do have that charge. I'll let you know that probable cause was found on the charge that was submitted to the court today. You have been appointed an attorney to represent you, so you can certainly speak with your attorney regarding those specific charges.
Okay.
But you do have that charge here today.
Even if someone else takes it, if someone else takes that charge,
Ask your attorney if you have any questions regarding the specific charge. Based on the information submitted, I did find probable cause.
okay.
Unfortunately, because I did find probable cause and because you're currently on felony release, you are required to be held without bond at this time for that new charge. Okay, so that's why we added the evidentiary hearing. That's the hearing on February 24. That's the hearing that gets set in order to allow the court to review that specific release condition, your non-bailable status. So your next case we have is that open felony matter. So in that case, that is here for a bench warrant that was previously issued. So in that case, you have a status conference, same dates, February 21, preliminary hearing February 25th. That case, there is a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Your third and final matter here, this is for a warrant that was issued out of the Desert Ridge Justice Court.
suspended license or something?
For a suspended license, correct. So in that matter, you have an arraignment hearing February 19 at 8:30. I went ahead, since that was your first warrant issued in that case, and it is a traffic case, I just reduced that to a $50 bond. I have to set some kind of bond in that matter because I want them to know you're in custody.
Okay.
Okay. All right, any questions regarding these?
So there's no way of bonding out until the 24th or whatever it was?
Yeah, well, assuming they file the charges, okay? So from here, that dangerous drug charge that just came in, that has the offense date of yesterday, that one's going to go now, and the county attorney's office will make a charging decision. If charges do get filed and the case moves forward, then yes, you will be held in custody at least till your next court date's here, okay?
And that date is what?
Well, your first court date is going to be February 21, so at that point, your attorney should be able to give you a better idea as to what's happening, because your actual evidentiary hearing, which is the hearing that gets set in order to determine, you know, whether or not to continue to hold you without bond, that's not till February 24th, okay? But sometimes by the 21st, you'll kind of know what's going on with that,
All right.
okay?
So I'm not going nowhere till at least the 24th.
Yeah, unless charges aren't filed. If charges aren't filed, that non-bondable hold's going to drop, but you'll still have the bond. You'll still have that $2,500 bond in your other felony case.
Okay.
Okay?
Appreciate
All right.
it.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have Jeremy Thomas and then Cesar Ruiz will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Jeremy Clint Thomas, 042893.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court, and this is alleging one count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony, and one count of assault as a Class 1 misdemeanor. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this matter. You do currently have a status conference set February 21 with a preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30, and those would be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix.
Yes.
Based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, that it does involve another offense of assault, while you also have a bench warrant outside of the city of Phoenix for another assault matter, you do have a bond in this case. That's a $2,500 secured appearance bond. Now, if you post bond and are released from custody, you also have orders here that you are not to have any contact whatsoever with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this case. Do you have any questions regarding that?
All right. Nothing.
All right, go ahead and step over to your left. You can go ahead and have a seat. We've got Mr. Ruiz, and then Adalberto Cano will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Cesar Ruiz, January 12th.
January 12th, 03? All right, so you've got two separate cases here today. Both of these are for bench warrants that were issued for your cases where you had that failure to appear at a sentencing. So in this case now, status conference is now set February 26th at 8:30, and in each matter, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. Each of those had a $500 secured appearance bond, so it's $1,000 total for both matters, okay? Any questions regarding that?
No.
All right, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got Adalberto Cano and then Dimitri Williams up after that. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Alberto Cano, 12/9/1985.
All right, sir, so you have three separate cases here today. I'll go ahead and start with a new matter that just came in. So this is going to be for a new case out of Superior Court, and that's for one count of theft of a means of transportation. That's a Class 3 felony. One count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. So in that case, the Legal Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You have a status conference set on February 21 with the preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30. Those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, I did do a $50 cash bond. I'm doing that bond primarily because you do have bonds in your probation matters, so I do want to make sure they know you're in custody in all three, just in case you don't post those other bonds. You're also going to be ordered not to have contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, or co-defendant if there is any. So your other case here is your probation matter, and you've got both of them on the calendar today, so that's your other two matters. So in each of those, a petition to revoke was filed back in December. It alleges a violation of terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation terms, so the public defender has been appointed. You do have a revocation arraignment hearing set February 24th at 8:30. Each of those matters, the bond and the warrant's been affirmed. They each have a $250 secured appearance bond. Now, if you do post bond and you are released from custody, you're still on supervised probation. You do still need to abide by those terms. That does include contacting probation within 72 hours if you're released. Did you have a question?
So each one is $250?
Yeah, so 250. So your
Plus the-
probation is 500. That's
Okay.
secured appearance. The other one is that $50 cash bond. That's
So
for the new charge.
So total?
550 total.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No.
All right. If you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork. All right. So we have Mr. Williams. Ralph Sargent will be up next. Hi, Mr. Williams. If you could state your full name and date of birth, sir.
My name is Dimitri Trayvon Williams, date of birth February 23rd, 1995.
All right. Thank you, sir. So you've got two separate cases here today. I'm going to start with the new matter that just came in. So this is going to be new charges in Superior Court. The first count is one count of theft of a means of transportation. That's a Class 3 felony. And one count of possession of drug paraphernalia. That's a Class 6 felony. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You currently have a status conference set February 21, preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30. Those are going to take place at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. So in this first matter, you do have a $50 cash bond. I'm putting a placeholder bond in place here because you're going to have a bond on your probation matter. So I want to make sure they know you're in custody in both, okay? So your next case that you have is that probation matter, which is here for a Term 1 violation. So in that case now, the public defender's been appointed as well. You have a revocation arraignment hearing, February 24 at 8:30. In that matter, there is a $500 secured appearance bond. So it's $550 total for both of them. And if you do postpone and are released, you're going to be ordered not to have contact with any victim, complainant, witness, or co-defendant for the new charge. And then you also do need to contact probation within 72 hours in your probation case. All right, any questions regarding either matter?
I don't have any questions. I just have statements in regards to my case.
Regarding the facts of your case, that would be appropriately discussed with the attorney who's been appointed to represent you in this matter.
Okay.
Okay? All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork so you can have a seat. Thank you. All right, so we do have Ralph Sargent, and then Jason Unger is going to be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
3/20/1978, Ralph Vega Sargent.
You are here for a new case out of the White Tank Justice Court. And this is for one count of assault. That's a Class 2 misdemeanor. Though in this matter, it otherwise could be court-appointed counsel eligible, but based on the information submitted to the court, I don't show that you qualify for that. So you do, of course, have the right to retain an attorney on your own behalf to represent you in this matter. And if you do believe that's incorrect, and based on your financial situation, you should qualify for court-appointed counsel, you can always bring that up with me here, or you can bring it up at your next court date at the Justice Court. So that'll be the court actually handling your case.
Okay.
That's an entirely
So I would
separate
just
court.
ask them there.
Yep, you can ask them there. They're the ones that actually handle it, okay?
Okay.
All right, so your next court date there is an arraignment hearing, February 20 at 8:30. That'll be at the White Tank Justice Court. Given the nature of the offense, specifically that it is an alleged domestic violence offense, you do have a bond. That's a $750 secured appearance bond. Now, if you do postpone and you are released from custody, you do have the additional orders that you're not to return to the scene of the offense, not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. That does mean if you were previously residing together, you would need to find an alternate residence. If you need to go back there because you have personal items located there that you need to retrieve, you can only do that using a civil standby. That's done by contacting local law enforcement and scheduling it through them.
Okay.
All right, any questions regarding that?
No, so I need a $750, I pay,
$750, yep, that's for your release. And assuming you have no other holds, then you would get released from custody. I don't show you have any other ones.
so I'm paying $750?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and ask
Understood.
them in the back how that works. They'll be able to let you know. The officers in the back will, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so we have Jason Unger and then Michelle Hutchins up after that. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth.
Jason Kyle Unger, 10/9/75.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for two separate cases today. The first one is going to be a new case out of Superior Court. The single count submitted there is one count of burglary in the third degree of Class 4 felony. So in that matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do currently have a status conference set on February 21 with the preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30, and that'll be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this first matter, you do have a $250 secured appearance bond with the additional orders that you are not to return to the scene of the offense, which you've already been trespassed from all those locations. You are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. Your next case we have here is for a warrant that was issued for a direct complaint that's been filed. Now, that direct complaint alleges 1 count of aggravated assault involving an officer, a Class 5 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony.
And I don't
The date of
understand.
offense is February 7 of 2023 for that case. That case has now been filed. So it might have been something you were arrested on before. It might have been something they submitted long form to the county attorney's office. But that case has now been filed.
Okay, I never resisted any arrest.
I don't know anything about your case other than it's
Okay.
already been found.
Is there
Somebody
any
already found
possible-
probable cause and it has already been charged.
Is there any possible way that I could get a PR bond, personal recognizance?
No, you will not be being released on your own recognizance. You do have bonds, both secured appearance bonds in each matter. So you have the same court dates in your case with the direct complaint that I just went over, and same release conditions. You have another $250 bond in that matter. So it's $500 total for both. All right, any questions regarding that? All right, if you want to go ahead and step over, you can go ahead and pick up that paperwork so you can have a seat at this time. All right, we have Michelle Hutchins and Dolly Serrano will be up next. All right, Ms. Hutchins, go ahead and state your full name and date of birth.
Hello, my name is Michelle Viviana Hutchins, and my birthday is 3502.
Thank you. So you've got 2 separate cases here today. I'll start with the new matter that just came in. It's for a new case in Superior Court. The charges are 1 count of possession of a narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Those are the 2 counts that probable cause was found on here today. They did submit an additional account for unlawful use of a means of transportation as a passenger. I didn't find probable cause on that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going away, but they didn't provide me with enough information on that specific charge. So in this matter, the public defender has been appointed. You do have a status conference set February 21 with a preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30. In this matter, because you do have a bond in your probation case, which had that failure to appear warrant, you've got a $50 cash bond in this matter. You also have orders here that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, or co-defendant. So your next case is that probation matter where you got the bench warrant. So in that matter now you have a status conference February 25th at 8:30. And in that case there is a $250 secured appearance bond. So the bond and the warrant was affirmed. So it's $300 total for both.
Okay, I have a question. So, because I knew I had court on December 4th. They said that I missed court December 4th. I went to court. I went there, and they told me it's a holiday. They're like, no. And then they said, I even had them search it up. Is there anywhere in the area where I should be that do I have court? Like, what's going on? They told me, no, you came to the right place, but it's just like there's no court. I don't see.
Let me see if you've had any contact with probation at all since then.
I actually just got my probation officer not that long ago. And he said that he was going to come see me, but he never came to come see me.
Yeah, it looks like they've made multiple attempts to find you at CAS and other locations. They've not found you. You have not contacted them. So at this point, you do have a bond in that matter.
But I can't be at CAS because they told me that I'm literally, I cannot be down there. I can't be down there at CAS.
You can talk to your probation officer about it. It's not their job to hunt you down. It's your job to check in with them. And when you fail to do that, you're in violation of probation and you end up being in custody.
But if the judge tell me I can't go to court, I can't
have a bond now. All right, we have Dolly Serrano and then Adrian Miranda up after that. Ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Sure, it's Dolly Serrano, 10374.
All right, so you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of aggravated assault involving a minor, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. In this case, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set February 21 with a preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. Based on the nature of the offense that you are here for an assault matter, you do have a bond. That's a $500 secured appearance bond. You also have the additional orders that you're not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You can only return to your specific residence or apartment number or unit number at that complex if they still allow you to do so. So if you're still permitted to do so by management, if you have not been evicted or otherwise trespassed from the location. But you are not permitted to linger or loiter in any of the common areas. That would include any hallways, stairwells, parking lots, laundry rooms, and pool. Okay, that would include that area. Do you have any questions regarding that?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you go and pick up that paperwork that's over there. All right, so we have Adrian Miranda and then Dominic Augustin will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Adrian Bautista Miranda, January 16 and 23.
All right, thank you, sir. So I know you were brought in last night, so you've had a very long night.
Yes.
So what happened is they only saw you on one of your probation warrants. You actually had a second warrant, okay, because you have 2 probation cases altogether. So this is just for your second warrant that you have, which is here for the same thing. It's still the petition to revoke that was submitted with the violation of terms 3 and 5. So public defender's been appointed. Revocation arraignment hearing set February 24th. If your other hearing was earlier than that, they'll probably handle both of them at the same time. So this date would be vacated, okay, if it's different. So in this matter, you do have a $500 bond, okay? Hopefully that's it. You won't have to get dragged back in here again. But do you have any questions regarding this case? All right, thank you, sir. All right, so we have Mr. Augustin and Albert Hernandez up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
My name is Dominic Gabriel Augustine, and I was born February 15, 2005.
All right, thank you, sir. So you've got a new case out of Superior Court here. The charges are 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of disorderly conduct, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Those are the counts I was able to find probable cause on. There is an additional count for aggravated assault, but since they submitted it under the wrong statute or subsection of that statute, I can't find probable cause for that charge. So the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do have a status conference set February 21 with a preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30.
Well, I'm sorry, can you repeat the dates one more time?
Sure, February 21 and February 25th. And those are going to be provided in your paperwork you'll receive as well. So you don't need to memorize this information, okay? And in this case, you do have a $500 bond. So that's a $500 secured appearance bond that you'd have to post to be released prior to that next court date. All right, any questions about that?
So I'm stuck in here if I don't have $500 to pay?
If you're unable to post the bond, then you would remain in custody. You'd be transported to your court date.
And I only need to pay 10% of that up front to get out?
So you have a pretty low bond because it's $500. I don't know how low the bonding companies go. It's a secured appearance bond, so you are able to work with a bail bonding company, but as far as the percentage with security, because your bond is so low, I don't know if they'll work with it or not, but you'd have to contact them to find out.
Who would I talk to about that, ma'am?
The next room you go to, there's going to be phones on the wall with different numbers of different bail bonding companies, so you can certainly reach out to some of them and see what they would require, what would happen with that.
And I just call them and...
You can call them, yeah. Ask the officers in the back. They'll be able to give you some guidance.
All right.
Okay? All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we have Albert Hernandez and then Alexander Cano will be up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
It's Albert Joseph Hernandez, 10/29/1960.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Now, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You do currently have a status conference set February 21 with a preliminary hearing February 25th, both at 8:30. In this matter, based on a review of your history, you do have a bond in this case. That's going to be a $500 secured appearance bond. Looks like you do have some MESA warrants that are outstanding as well. So if you haven't already seen the MESA, Judge, even if you post this bond, you might still have to see that.
I was in prison at the time.
Yeah, you'd have to, I'm just letting you know because they might not release you right away. They might say you need to go see MESA first, okay? I don't know if that's the case, but if they put a hold on you, you will.
Okay.
Okay? All right, any other questions or
No.
any questions regarding this? All right, thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Cano, and then we've got Justin Clay up next. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Alexander Cano, July 25th, 1978.
All right, thank you, sir. You were here for a grand jury warrant that was issued. This is for an indictment filed that alleges 1 count of theft, a Class 3 felony. This has an offense date of November 21 of 2023. So in this matter, public defender's been appointed. You have an arraignment hearing set on February 25th at 8:30 a.m. That'll take place at the Superior Court located in downtown Phoenix. The address will be included in your paperwork. I am going to be following the PSA recommendation here. You are being released in this matter, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You'd also have electronic monitoring added that have to be installed prior to your release. And you do have additional orders here that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness involved in this matter. Do you have any questions regarding that?
I'm being released under pretrial services.
You're being released under pretrial services with electronic monitoring.
Okay, and do I contact them or?
They'll let you know because you have to go through the electronic monitoring process. I think you still get instructions in your paperwork about pretrial services, but you'll see them before you go anyway, since you have to go through the electronic monitoring.
Okay.
Okay? All right, if you want to go and step over, you can go and pick up that paperwork over there. You can have a seat. All right, we have Justin Klein and then Skylar Torstensen will be up next. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
3762 Lane, Justin Klein.
All right, so you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs. That's a Class 4 felony. 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Since it does appear as though you qualify for court-appointed counsel, I am appointing the Public Defender's Office. If there was a note in here from PSA saying that you declined court-appointed counsel, you have the right to do so. You can bring that up at your next court date if you wish to. Status conference set March 3rd, preliminary hearing March 6th, both at 8:30. And in this matter, you are being released subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You'll receive instructions regarding pretrial services in the paperwork you'll be receiving here momentarily. It does give you instructions as to how to contact them because you do have to stay checked in with them while on release. Do you have any questions regarding that?
I was at a friend's camp and I was sick for 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I slept all day and Friday, people just disappeared. And the next day, there's people there while I was sleeping and recovering from that cold that I had. And when I woke up, nobody was there. And they left their bike, their backpack, whatever. And I got up and started getting all the trash together. And next thing you know, I saw 3 cops coming over.
You can certainly speak with your attorney about any questions you have regarding the specific allegations you have here. Probable cause was found on the charges that were submitted, though.
Well, I found all these things.
Any additional questions regarding the information?
I just found them. But yeah, just to mine.
I've already told you you can speak with your attorney regarding that. It's not going to change anything here today.
You're going to go to your attorney.
All right, so we have Ms. Torstensen and then Patricia Valenzuela up after that. Ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Skylar Shelby Torstensen, 42692.
All right, so you were here for 2 separate cases. These are each for warrants that were issued for direct complaints that have been filed. That first direct complaint alleges 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, both Class 4 felonies. That has an offense date of December 7 of 2023. The second direct complaint you have is for 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. That has an offense date of April 30 of 2024. So in each of these cases, the public defender's been appointed. You have a status conference set March 3rd with the preliminary hearing March 6th, both at 8:30. Those are at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this case, you are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. You're also subject to drug testing and monitoring. That will be up to pretrial services. They'll let you know about that. You'll receive a packet of paperwork in your other court paperwork about pretrial services that'll include their contact information. You do have to stay checked in with them. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
All right, go and step over and go and have a seat. We've got Patricia Valenzuela. Amy Kosman is going to be up next. All right, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Patricia Valenzuela, June 13, 1985.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It is alleging 1 count of theft of a means of transportation. That's a Class 3 felony. 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, Class 4 felony. And 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, which is a Class 6 felony. So in this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set March 3rd with the preliminary hearing March 6th, both at 8:30. And those will be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. In this matter, I am going to be following the PSA recommendation here. You are being released, but it is subject to the supervision of pretrial services. So you'll get their information before you go. You do have to stay checked in with them while on release. You're also ordered not to return to the scene of the offense, have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, or co-defendant in this matter. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, go and step over.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got Amy Kosman and Thomas Wright up after that. Hi, ma'am, your full name and date of birth?
Amy Costin, 32673.
All right, thank you. So you are here for a warrant issued out of the town of Fountain Hills. So in this matter, this is TR 2021-00094. Looks like it is a post-adjudication warrant out of that court. They set an arraignment hearing for you on March 5th at 9 a.m. That'll be at the town of Fountain Hills. Since it is a post-adjudication warrant, you are being released to appear at that next matter on your own, next court date on your own. That'll be on your own recognizance, which is, of course, your promise to appear. Okay. Your next case I have here is a new case out of Superior Court. This is going to be for 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. Public defender has been appointed in that one as well. You have a status conference set March 3rd, preliminary hearing March 6th, both at 8:30. And in that matter, you have the same release conditions. You are being released on your own recognizance. Do you have any questions regarding either of those 2 cases? No. All right, so you want to go ahead and step over and you go ahead and have a seat. All right, we have Thomas Wright and then Corin Preston up after that. Right,
hello,
sir.
hello.
Full name and date of birth?
Thomas Charles Wright. My date of birth is 4/15/1982.
All right, sir. So you're here for a warrant that was issued out of the West Mesa Justice Court. This is for an initial arrest warrant that was issued. It's not a failure to appear warrant.
Yeah, I have
it's a
no
warrant
idea
that was issued in lieu of a summons, okay? So this is for 1 count of theft and 1 count of possession of burglary tools. Those are both Class 1 misdemeanors. The date of offense is April 12th of 2024. So based on the nature of the offense that you're here for, these are misdemeanor offenses that don't otherwise qualify. You're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do, of course, have the right to retain an attorney to represent you. You've got an arraignment hearing set March 4 at 8:30. That'll be at the West Mesa Justice Court. Since this is an initial arrest warrant, not a failure to appear warrant, you are being released on your own recognizance, which is your promise to appear, with orders not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness.
Absolutely, I'll be
Do you
there.
have any questions about
No,
that?
I'll be there. I just really wasn't sure about what was going on with this because I'm staying in sober living. I'm doing really good. I've been through the court, and you know, I'm going in a really good positive direction. So they caught me off guard. I was on a bicycle, even going to a meeting, and they kind of caught me off guard with it. So I was a little confused about what this is really about, or what you
Yeah,
know.
what happens is that they can't get the summons to you if they don't have a current mailing address or whatever the case may be. They can't get a summons to you. They issue a warrant in lieu of issuing
Yeah, but
a
just,
summons.
what I mean is though, I don't recall this incident.
That I couldn't tell you about.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know
So
anything
I'm a
about
little. I mean, I got a good idea. I mean, I have a history, and I got a good idea about what I've been involved in and what I haven't. And this one really did not ring a bell. You know, I mean, I was homeless for a while, and I had lost. I asked the officers, "Hey, was there a booking picture? Was it somebody else?"
Don't say too much about your case.
Oh yeah,
You're being recorded. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Talk to the next
So,
court.
so
Talk to the
I'm
next-
all warrant. I'll get out of here. Hey, thank you so much. You have a good day. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Preston, and then Control May will be up after that. All right, your full name and date of birth?
Corinne Preston, 10/10/1995.
All right, thank you. You are here for a new case out of Superior Court. It's alleging 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, 1 count of shoplifting, which is a Class 1 misdemeanor. Now, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed. You have a status conference set March 3rd with a preliminary hearing March 6th, both at 8:30. That's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. So in this matter, I am following the PSA recommendation. You are being released on your own recognizance. It is going to be your promise to appear. You do have the additional orders that you are not to return to the scene of the offense or have any contact with any complainant or witness. Do you have any questions for me at this time?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you want to go and step over, you are set. Thank you. All right, Mr. May. All right, sir, your full name and date of birth?
Kentra Devontae May, August 14th, 2000.
All right, thank you, sir. You're here for a new case out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. The charge is 1 count of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, which is a Class 3 misdemeanor. You're not entitled to court-appointed counsel based on the nature of the charge. It's a misdemeanor offense that doesn't otherwise qualify, but you do have the right to retain an attorney. An arraignment hearing's been set March 5th at 1 p.m. That's at the Goodyear Municipal Court. And in this matter, you are being released on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear with orders not to return to the scene or have any contact with any complainant or witness.
Okay.
Any questions for me? Thank you.
Don't get comfortable, we're gonna stand right now, sir. Hey, sit up. So everybody else in the front. All right. Good afternoon, you may be seated.
This is the time set for the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for February 16th of 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA samples and fingerprints made on the 1st of this month will apply to all matters on this calendar.
Este es el calendario de la comparecencia inicial del día de hoy a las 2 de la tarde, 16 de febrero del 2025. Las órdenes emitidas el 1 del mes con respecto a la toma de huellas dactilares y muestras de ADN aplican en todos los casos.
I will be asking each of you to come up to the podium one by one.
Les voy a pedir que pasen al podio uno por uno.
Where I will be asking you for your first and last name and your date of birth.
Les voy a pedir su nombre completo y fecha de nacimiento.
I will then advise you as to why you were here.
Luego les informaré la razón por la que están aquí.
Whether or not an attorney has been appointed to you.
Si se les ha asignado o no un abogado.
Your future court dates.
La fecha de sus audiencias futuras.
What your bond will be if you are eligible for bond.
La cantidad del dinero de la fianza, si es que son elegibles para una fianza.
And your release conditions.
Y las condiciones para su puesta en libertad.
At this time, I am calling Efrain Martinez to the podium.
Efraín Martínez, pase al podio.
And Mr. Gamino, if you can please have a seat in the chair. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Efraín Martínez.
Completo y fecha de nacimiento.
Efraín Martínez, marzo 5, 1962.
Efraín Martínez, March 5th, 1962, Maria Corp, Court Interpreter's Office.
Thank you.
Es Efraín.
Efraín.
Sir, you were here because you were charged with one count of DUI with liquor, drugs, vapors, or a combination, a class 1 misdemeanor.
Señor, usted está aquí por manejar bajo la influencia de vapores, licor o una combinación de eso. Es una falta categoría número 1.
DUI with a BAC of .08 or more, a class 1 misdemeanor.
Manejar bajo la influencia con una concentración en la sangre de .08 o más, falta categoría número 1.
One count of extreme DUI, BAC of .15 to .20, a class 1 misdemeanor.
Un punto acusatorio de manejar extremadamente ebrio de una concentración de .15 a .02 es una falta categoría número 1.
And one count of criminal damage, a class 1 misdemeanor.
Y un punto acusatorio de daño a propiedad ajena, falta categoría número 1.
I did find probable cause as to all counts.
Determino que existe motivo fundado con respecto a todas las acusaciones.
I did appoint an attorney to represent you.
Le asigné un abogado para que lo represente.
You will have an arraignment hearing on March 5th at 1 p.m.
Tendrá una vista incoatoria el 5 de marzo a la 1 de la tarde.
I am going to release you on your own recognizance today.
Ordenaré que quede en libertad bajo su promesa de comparecer.
You do have to promise to appear for your court date.
Promete presentarse a su audiencia.
Sí.
Yes.
There are some additional release conditions that you must comply with.
También le impondré otras condiciones para su libertad, las que también deberá de cumplir.
You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime.
No puede regresar a la escena del supuesto delito.
You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim.
No puede iniciar comunicación con la supuesta víctima.
You must obey the terms of an order of protection or an order against harassment.
Deberá de obedecer las condiciones de alguna orden de protección o de alejamiento.
If an order has been issued.
Si es que se ha emitido alguna.
You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim.
Tampoco puede vivir en el mismo domicilio que la supuesta víctima.
Even if you are the owner or renter of the residence.
Aunque usted sea el dueño o el que renta el domicilio.
You are permitted one civil standby with law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings.
Se le permite regresar una sola vez acompañado de un agente del orden público para recoger sus pertenencias personales.
If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment.
Si usted quebranta la orden de no tener comunicación con la víctima, se le podría presentar una acusación de hostigamiento con agravantes,
Which is a Class 6 felony.
que es un delito categoría 6.
If you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court date,
Si usted no cumple con estas condiciones de su puesta en libertad o no se presenta a su audiencia,
a warrant could be issued for your arrest
se podría emitir orden de aprehensión en su contra
and a bond would be imposed.
y se le impondría una fianza.
Do you understand?
¿Entiende usted?
Sí.
Yes.
So if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Pase a su izquierda, la gente le entregará sus documentos.
Thank you.
Ms. Corp, before I excuse you, can you just inquire as to whether anybody else is in need of your assistance?
Yes, Your Honor. ¿Hay alguien más que necesite intérprete en español? Si así es, levanten la mano. Any hands?
There are no hands raised. Ms. Corp, thank you so much. You may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Gamino, can you please come to the podium? And Mr. Kilgore, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Fedor Eugene Gamino, 10/17/2001.
You are here on a new case. You were charged with one count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony. I did find probable cause. As to that charge, I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You would not be permitted to return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim. You are not able to possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection that are issued, you'd have to abide by that. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim. You would be permitted one civil standby with law enforcement to assist you in collecting your belongings. If you violate the no victim contact in this matter, you could be charged with aggravated harassment. If you are able to post bond, and you are expected to comply with all of these release conditions as well as appear for your court date. If you fail to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court dates, any bond posted would be revoked or forfeited. Sorry, would be forfeited. A warrant would be issued for your arrest and bond would be imposed again. That takes care of everything that we have to do here today.
Gotcha.
If you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Have a seat to the left. Mr. Kilgore, could you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Estrada, will you please have a seat in the chair? Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Cameron Brown Kilgore, June 26, 2003.
You are here because you have two cases. You have one new case, and then you have a violation of probation. I'm going to talk to you first about your new case. You were charged with one count of possession of dangerous drugs for sale, one count of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, one count of possession for use of a weapon in a drug offense, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession of narcotic drugs, a Class 4 felony, one count of possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and one count of carrying a deadly weapon and failing to admit, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I found probable cause as to all counts except for possession of dangerous drugs for sale. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30, a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000. If you are able to post bond, you do need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Then as to your violation of probation, I did appoint an attorney to represent you in that matter as well. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you're able to post bond in both of your cases, you do have to appear for your court dates. If you fail to appear for your court dates, any bond posted could result in your bond being forfeited, a warrant being issued for your arrest, and you being subject to bond again. Your total bond between the two cases is $15,500. That takes care of everything that we can do here today. If
Appreciate
you step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Mr. Estrada, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Taylor, will you please have a seat in the chair? Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jesse Gonzalez Estrada, 6/19/1990.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with one count of aggravated DUI, driving the wrong way, a class 4 felony. I did find probable cause as to that count. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. If you are able to post bond, you'll be released to pretrial services, which will include alcohol testing and monitoring. If you are able to post bond, you are expected to comply with all of your release conditions and appear for your court date. If you fail to do so, any bond posted would be forfeited, a warrant would be issued for your arrest, and another bond would be imposed. So that takes care of everything that we can take care of this afternoon. If you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Taylor, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Miller, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Christopher Houston Taylor, June 21st, 2006.
You were here on a new matter. You have a violation of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in this matter. You have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 14th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. If you are able to post bond, you do need to appear for your court date. If you fail to appear for your court date, any bond posted will be forfeited, a warrant would be issued for your arrest, and another bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything we can do this afternoon. If you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Benali, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Anthony Wayne Miller, 10/9/90.
You were here because a warrant was issued for your arrest when you failed to appear for a court date. You have a status conference hearing on February. I did not appoint an attorney for you because an attorney was already appointed to you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. If you're able to post bond, you need to make sure that you attend your court dates. If you fail to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to bond again.
Okay.
Okay, so if you'll step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Benali, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Ng, if you'll please have a seat in the chair. Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Julian Benali, 11/22/04.
You were here on two matters. They are both violations of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in both matters. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 24th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $750 per case. So your total secured appearance bond is $1,500. If you are able to post bond, you need to make sure that you appear for your court date. If you fail to appear, any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to bond again. That takes care of everything that we can do here this afternoon. If you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Ms. Ng, if you will please come into the courtroom, and Mr. DeHaven, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Hello, ma'am. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Jamie Ng, 9/14/83.
You were here because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for a court date. You already have an attorney appointed to represent you in this matter. You do have a probation revocation possible disposition hearing on February 24th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. if you are able to post bond. If you fail to appear for your court date, any bond posted would be forfeited, another warrant would be issued for your arrest, and more bond would be imposed.
So I can bail out for 500?
Secured appearance,
What's that mean?
10% plus collateral.
Okay.
Okay, so if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. DeHaven, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Coulter, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Well, sir, will you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Christopher Ray DeHaven, 1882.
Thank you. You are here because you have 3 matters, and they are all violations of probation. I did appoint an attorney to represent you in all 3 matters. You do have a probation violation possible disposition hearing on February 24th at 8:30. You have a total secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,250. 2 of the warrants had a secured appearance bond of $500, and the other one had a secured appearance bond of $250.
So, total of $100, the 10% was collateral?
Correct. If you post bond, you need to make sure you show up for your court date. If you do not, any bond posted would be forfeited, and a warrant would be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to bond again. Okay, so that takes care of everything that we have to do here today. Thank you. Mr. Coulter, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Flores, if you will please have a seat in the chair.
I can't walk slow. I'm sorry, I got scoliosis.
Okay. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Terrence Anthony Coulter,
Your date of birth?
2686.
Thank you. You are here today because you were charged with 1 count of assault with an intent to injure, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I did find probable causes to that offense. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 4th at 9 o'clock. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Promise I will.
You have some additional release conditions that you must abide by. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim or victims. You cannot possess any weapons. You must obey any terms of orders of protections or order against harassment that have been issued or are subsequently issued. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the residence. You are permitted 1 civil standby with law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. Please be advised, if you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court date, a warrant would be issued for your arrest and a bond would likely be imposed. That takes care of everything that we have to do here today. So if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Mr. Flores, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Hines, or Ms. Hines, will you please have a seat in the chair? Well, sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yes, David Flores, October 25th, 1962.
Yeah, I did find probable causes to all 3 counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on March 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March 6th at 8:30. I'm inclined to release you to pretrial services today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court dates. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have to comply with your release conditions. If you fail to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court date, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Here you go. Ms. Hines, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Knight, will you please have a seat in the chair? Bless you.
Thank you.
Ms. Hines, will you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Lena Hines, February 13th, 2000.
You are here on a new case. You were charged with 2 counts of assault and 1 count of assault with an intent to injure. Both of those counts are Class 1 misdemeanors. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 4th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes.
There are some release conditions that you will have to comply with. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victims. You cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or harassment that have been issued or are subsequently issued, you must obey the terms of those orders. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the residence. You are permitted, when civil, standby with law enforcement to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. You are also advised that if you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. If you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court date, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and a bond will likely be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Sorry, could I ask one question?
Sure.
Is the no contact with the victim just until the case is over, or like permanently?
But as long as this case is pending, and I don't know what will happen,
Okay.
if that'll continue once the case is resolved, but.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Knight, will you please come into the courtroom, and Ms. Walters, will you please have a seat in the chair? So can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Tanya Knight, January 21st, 1999.
Thank you. You are here today on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of assault with intent to injure, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have an arraignment hearing on March 4th at 9:30. I'm sorry. Giselle? Yes. I do have to change this. So sorry. Okay, I fixed it. I did find probable cause. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 4th at 9:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Can you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have some additional release conditions. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victim. You cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that are issued or subsequently issued, you must obey the terms of those orders. You cannot reside at the same location as the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the residence. You are permitted, once civil standby with law enforcement, to assist you in collecting your essential belongings. If you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you could be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. If you fail to comply with these release conditions or you fail to appear for your court date, a warrant would be issued for your arrest and a bond would likely be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so if you'll step to your left. Yes, go ahead.
I have a question. I was told to ask, I live in Texas. Am I able to go back home and come back for my court date?
My understanding is that as long as you have a pending case here, you have to stay here. I'm not the one that would make that order. I'm not the assigned judge. So you will be assigned an attorney, and your paperwork will tell you what number to call for that attorney. You should call that attorney, and they could file something maybe before your court date regarding that request. But as of today, you have to remain here. You created the allegation, which I found probable cause, is that you committed a criminal offense in Arizona. So that there's nothing I can do about that. The law requires you to remain here. Okay, so if you'll step to your left. Ms. Walters, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Marley, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Sam, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Brandy Walters, March 28, 1990.
You are here today because you have a warrant out of West McDowell Justice Court. I did not appoint an attorney to you due to the nature of the charge. You are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on February 25th at 1:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
I will just caution you the importance of that. The date of this warrant was September 28th of 2023. If you fail to appear for your court date and you're picked up on a warrant again, a bond will likely be imposed, so
Okay.
show up to court.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Ms. Walters, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Knight, will you please have a seat in the chair? Sam, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Brandy Walters, March 28, 1990.
You are here today because you have a warrant out of West McDowell Justice Court. I did not appoint an attorney to you due to the nature of the charge. You are not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You do have an arraignment hearing on February 25th at 1:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Mr. Marley, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Whitehead, will you please have a seat in the chair? Mr. Marley, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
5594, Ricky Marley.
Thank you. You are here today because you have a new case. You were charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, a class 3 misdemeanor. I did find probable causes to that offense. Due to the nature of the charge, you're not entitled to a court-appointed attorney. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 7th at 10 o'clock. I'm inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
If you fail to appear for your court date, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and a bond will likely be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you will step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Whitehead, will you please come into the courtroom? And Mr. Mills, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
James Whitehead, 21803.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of shoplifting, a class 1 misdemeanor. You are not entitled to, I did find probable causes to that offense. You are not entitled to a court-appointed attorney due to the nature of the charge. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 4th at 9 o'clock. I'm inclined to release you on your own recognizance today, but you do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
If you fail to appear for your court date, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you will likely be subject to a bond. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you. Mr. Mills, will you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Pratt, will you please have a seat in the chair? Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
First name Paul, last name Mills, February 28, 1989.
Thank you. You were here because you have a warrant out of White Tank Justice Court. Due to the nature of the offense, you're not entitled to a court-appointed attorney today. You do have an arraignment hearing on March 4th at 9:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. Do you promise to appear for your court date?
Yes, ma'am.
Please be advised that if you do not appear for your court date, a bond will be imposed. So show up to court. That takes care of everything that we need to do here today. If you will step to your left, officer will give you your paperwork.
Thank you.
Ms. Pratt, will you please come into the courtroom? Ma'am, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Bethany Pratt, 103102.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of shoplifting, a class 4 felony. I did find probable causes to that offense. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on March 3rd at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on March 6th at 8:30. I am inclined to release you on your own recognizance. You do have to promise to appear for your court date. Do you promise to appear?
Yes, ma'am.
You have some release conditions that include you cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot have any contact with your co-defendant, your alleged co-defendant. If you fail to comply with your release conditions or appear for your court date, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and a bond will be imposed. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you'll step to the left, the officer will give you your paperwork. So we do need to clear now.
So I have Cheryl.
Yes. Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. Yep, we do.
I have a couple more before I go.
So, because there's, I asked for,
Do you want her to sit down?
do you want me to sit back down? Yes.
I'm confused. Okay, sorry. You want me back over there? No, just sit right here in the blue chair. You want the whole, everything clear?
The people who are remaining can stay, but everybody else has to. Okay. All right. Ms. Query, can you please come into the courtroom? And Ms. Miller, if you will please have a seat in the chair. Hello, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Cheryl Quarry, June 9th, 1955.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of aggravated DUI with the passenger under the age of 15 and 1 count of endangerment. The first one is a class 6 felony. The endangerment is a class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable causes to both counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $2,500. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services, which will include alcohol testing and monitoring. You will need to comply with your release conditions as well as appear for your court dates. If you fail to do so, any bond posted will be forfeited, a warrant will be issued for your arrest, and more bond would be imposed. That takes care of everything that we have to do here today. If you will please step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Stevens does not have the similar charges as the other one.
I'm so sorry, that didn't get, I'm sorry, I didn't order it the right way.
He was no longer a house call. Yeah, I was about to tell you that.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that.
No. So can we do him real quick?
We can do him.
Stevens.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Matthew Henry Stevens, May 30th, 1980.
You are here today because a warrant was issued when you failed to appear for a court date. An attorney has already been appointed to represent you in this matter. You do have a status conference hearing on February 26th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,000.
Your Honor, I had car trouble. I went to the court that day, the day that it was issued, and I filed a motion to quash. And I even went to the court twice. I went the next week because the lady said, come back.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go first. Let me just go and look at your case, okay? So you filed the motion to quash on your own, but the judge did not rule on it?
Yeah, because my attorney is out of town. He's out of town till Wednesday. I called him.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is that you filed the motion to quash, but it's still an active warrant because the judge did not rule on it.
What I'm asking for today is the mercy of the court to
I
allow
don't have
me.
the authority to do that.
You can't OR me on. I went to the court.
Because
I filed the motion.
It's in front of another judge. The only thing that I do here today, when there are warrants issued by the assigned judge, I follow those orders. I'm just here to tell you what that order is. If the judge had ruled on it and I could see it, then I could do something about it. But it was filed on the 30th.
My car is sitting.
Okay, so I'm not going to argue with you anymore. I've done what I'm supposed to do here today. So if you will please step to the left.
Can I ask a question before I step to the left?
No.
I can't. I'm my own attorney. I can't ask a question.
I'm done answering questions because you just want to argue and I'm not.
I'm not arguing. I'm just asking a question.
Ready?
We are.
Okay, Ms. Miller, will you please come into the courtroom? Ma'am, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yes, it's Brittany Miller, February 12th, 1987.
You were here on a new case. You were charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault against a minor, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts, and I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot initiate any contact with the alleged victims. You cannot have any contact with minors. You cannot possess any, I have to fix this order.
Your Honor, did you say 2 counts?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. 2 counts of aggravated assault on a minor.
Okay, even though I didn't put my hands on anybody at all today?
According to the probable cause statement alleges that you chased 2 children around with a rock and some other instrument. That's where the information comes for the aggravated assault.
Wow, okay.
I have appointed an attorney to represent you. I would recommend that you save any other questions for your attorney. Anyhow, you will be released on electronic monitoring if you're able to post bond. You cannot have any contact with the alleged victims. You cannot have any contact with minors. You cannot possess any weapons. If there are any orders of protection or orders against harassment that have been issued, you must comply with those orders. You are also cautioned that if you violate the no victim contact order in this case, you can be charged with aggravated harassment, which is a Class 6 felony. If you are able to post bond and you fail to comply with your release conditions or you fail to appear for your court dates, a warrant would be issued for your arrest and your bond would be forfeited and you could be subject to additional bond. That takes care of everything that we can do here today. So if you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Okay, do I talk to them about the bond? I don't understand the whole bond thing.
There's information, and I believe that the deputies will give you, talk to you more about it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Step to your left. Perfect. Hold on, one second. Let me, hey, there's where you can curve. Yeah. Shaw.
Mr. Garcia, we are getting ready to call Mr. Shaw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaw, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
First and last name is California Shaw, February 12th, 1997.
Mr. Garcia?
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Stephen Garcia on behalf of the state.
Mr. Shaw, you were here on a new case. You were charged with 1 count of child sex trafficking involving a minor, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of sexual conduct with a minor, a Class 3 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause as to all 3 counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. Mr. Garcia, do you want to be heard on release conditions and bond before I go over that information?
Nothing additional, Your Honor. Thank you. Yes.
I forgot to indicate that I did review your recommendation, so I wasn't sure if you had any additions to that information.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
So, I am going to order a cash-only bond in the amount of $100,000. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. I have to fix this one too. I am so sorry. You cannot have any contact. You cannot have any contact or contact. I'm sorry. You cannot have any contact with minors.
Right.
And hold on, I'm not done just yet. I'm sorry. You cannot have any contact with minors, and you cannot. You're prohibited from accessing the internet, except for work and school. You cannot possess any weapons. If you violate any of these release conditions, any bond posted would be forfeited. If you fail to appear for your court dates, any bond posted would be forfeited, a warrant would be issued, and bond could be imposed again. I would also just caution you about asking me any questions about the alleged facts in the case. If you have any questions regarding that, I have appointed an attorney to represent you. So if you have any questions, you should keep them directed towards your release conditions.
Okay.
So is your question along those lines? You may proceed.
I'll wait until the...
No, I'm saying you can proceed now.
All right,
You said you had a question.
Yeah, it was about the case, like, the conduct I didn't.
Yeah, so that's why, yeah.
That's why I was saying,
So, yeah.
I was trying to talk to the attorney.
So you just, wait till you talk to your attorney regarding that. So that takes care of everything that we have to do here today. If you will step to your left, the officer will give you your paperwork.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm just here for a housekeeping matter.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is it regarding Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you wanted the Form 4 sealed, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Ongoing investigation.
Okay. That motion, just for the record, a motion has been made to, I have to reprint this order, I'm so sorry. A motion was made on the record to seal the Form 4. Good cause was provided for that request, and so that motion is granted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Nikolai, if you will please come into the courtroom, I have to reprint this one as well.
You want him in, Your Honor?
He can go ahead. Mr. Nikolai can come in. We're going to bring him the new order. And then we're also reprinting the order for Mr. Nikolai as well. Sir, can you please state your first and last name and your date of birth?
Yes, my name is Eric, E-R-I-C, N-I-C-O-L-I. My date of birth is August 27th, 1985.
Thank you. And Mr. Garcia?
Thank you. Stephen Garcia on behalf of the state.
Okay. Mr. Nikolai, you are here because on a new case, you were charged with one count of child sex trafficking involving a minor, 15 years of age or younger, a Class 2 felony, one count of sexual conduct with a minor, a Class 3 felony. I did find probable cause as to both of those counts. I did appoint an attorney to represent you. You do have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. Mr. Garcia, did you have anything else that you wanted to add outside of I did review your recommendations.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
My understanding, I believe, is that there was going to be a request to seal the Form 4.
That is correct, Your Honor. Yes, please.
And can you...
Yes. There's an ongoing investigation in which the investigation could be compromised if the Form 4 becomes public.
The court does find good cause for the request to seal the Form 4. That motion is granted, specifically indicating on the record that the motion to seal the Form 4 has been granted. I am going to order a cash-only bond in the amount of $100,000. If you are able to post bond, you will be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. You cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime. You cannot have any contact with minors. And you are prohibited from accessing the internet through electronic means. And you cannot possess any weapons. If you are able to post bond, you must comply by all of these release conditions and appear for your court date. If you fail to do so, any bond posted would be forfeited, a warrant would be issued for your arrest, and you'd be subject to bond again.
And that's $100,000 total. Is there any leeway with that possible? I'm a one-income family. Is there any leeway with that possible?
I believe, based on the information that I reviewed, that the cash-only bond of $100,000 is appropriate at this time. You can ask for a modification. An attorney has been appointed to you, and that attorney can ask for it to be changed. But today, I believe that bond amount is appropriate.
Okay, and then I have 2 children as well. How does that order affect them?
I believe that you should talk to your attorney and whatever motions need to be made to modify release conditions or bond.
But how is it as of today, I guess?
As of today, I am saying that you're not to have any contact with any minors.
And my children are included, right?
Correct.
Okay.
That takes care of everything that we have to do here today. Thank you. Mr. Garcia, were you appearing on anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You may be excused.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Marlene Joanna is unable to participate in today's hearing due to disruptive behavior. Marlene is here on a new case, date of birth December 1st, 1992, was charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly or dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony. I did find probable cause to that offense. I did appoint an attorney to represent him. He will have a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30, a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond in the amount of $25,000. If he's able to post bond, he will be released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring. He will not be permitted to return to the scene of the alleged crime or initiate any contact with the alleged victim, nor can he possess any weapons, and he must abide by any orders of protection or orders against harassment. He may not reside at the same location as the alleged victim. He will be permitted one civil standby with law enforcement to retrieve essential belongings. He will also be cautioned that if he violates the no victim contact order, he could be charged with aggravated harassment, a Class 6 felony. He will also be advised that if he fails to abide by release conditions after posting bond or failing to appear for his court date, that any bond posted will be forfeited. A warrant could be issued for his arrest, and he'd be subject to bond again. Wayne Gray, date of birth April 25th, 1978, is here on a grand jury warrant. He was charged with 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, a Class 2 felony, 2 counts of disorderly conduct involving a weapon or instrument, a Class 6 felony, and criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I did appoint an attorney to represent him. He will have an arraignment hearing on February 25th at 8:30. There is a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. Release conditions, if he's able to post bond, is that he cannot return to the scene of the alleged crime, initiate any contact with the alleged victim or victims. He cannot possess any weapons, and he must abide by any orders of protection or orders against harassment. He will further be advised that if he fails to comply with release conditions or fails to appear for his court date, that any bond posted would be forfeited, a warrant would be issued for his arrest, and he could be subject to bond again. Alicia Poen, date of birth July 7th, 1998, is not here in court due to being in medical isolation. She's here because there was a warrant that was issued for her failing to appear for a court date. An attorney was already appointed to represent her in this matter. She has a status conference hearing on February 21st at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing on February 25th at 8:30. She has a secured appearance in the amount of secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. If she fails to appear for a court date, she will be advised that any bond posted will be forfeited. Another warrant would be issued for her arrest, and she will be subject to bond. I will meet with all of these individuals shortly. If any changes are needed, I will do so either on the record or in writing. The 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar stands at recess until 5 p.m.